Be ashamed of yourself.
We're live. All right, let's get interrupted by my son here.
Bueno. Yes.
Welcome to the first Focal Plane podcast with my dad and Booster and Chris. Enjoy your show.
What is up? How's it going?
Hola.
Back on a beautiful Sunday night, 7 o'clock Saskatchewan time, because we don't celebrate that daylight savings time like everyone else in the world does. So here we are, 7 o'clock, same time, same channel. Welcome to the first Focal Plane podcast, episode number 66. As always, Kurt, we are brought to you, we are brought to the internets by EM Precision Rifles. Why don't you tell us a little bit about EM Precision, Kurt?
Well, EM Precision, the makers of fine custom rifles, precision rifles. They're a Curtis Custom Action Dealer, International Barrels purveyor, I don't know, supplier. Anyway, if you want something built, call Steve and Shane. More so Shane, I guess. Steve's just the dirty hands guy. If you tell Shane we sent you, expect white glove service and nothing but quality. What about that kick-ass truck gun, that Howa Mini? We're doing a test and review on that sucker right now. It's Howa Mini Action in 223 with a JTAC Industries collapsible stock or chassis, I guess. Mm-hmm. And what is it? A 16-inch carbon fiber barrel. Yep. That thing's been sweet so far. Chris is out running it through the ringer right now.
Literally, right now.
Yeah, as we talk. Right now. He's got the night vision on. Hit up Shane on Facebook, Instagram, and on their website at emprifles.ca.
You bet. And if you want to wake up at 3:30 in the morning like our special guest here, Cliff, you should try Bolt Action Coffee. They're a Canadian veteran-owned and operated business. The Bolt Action Coffee team is passionate about long-range precision shooting and the pursuit of the world's best coffee. And they try. They really do. What are they, 86% on the scale?
Yeah, I would call that success. Not just trying.
Yeah, exactly. So all the beans they procure and roast is specialty coffee. So for those of you who don't know what it is, it makes up the top 2% of the world in any given harvest in terms of quality of beans. So specialty coffee provides a superior flavor to any standard coffee on the market today. It is a truly unique experience. If you want your own, boltactioncoffee.com, order online, use our code FIRSTFOCALPLANE for 10% off your order. So James Kopech, 11th hour ships out tomorrow. So yes, sir. Yeah, that is right. That was a pre-order. I don't think they sold out, did they not? I think they did. Anyway,
I don't know. I haven't heard.
But yeah, use code FIRSTFOCALPLANE for 10% off the order. Doing so directly supports the show. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. We also, sorry. What's that?
You're good. One more.
Oh, okay. All right. We are also brought to you by Callsign 66. They're North America's preeminent firearms training company, covering everything from rifle fundamentals to mindset to military and law enforcement training. Callsign 66 is your one-stop shop. Find them and their course listings on callsign66.ca.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Just like me.
Nancy is listening. So.
What?
Well, right on. Well, hey, Cliff, how's it going, buddy?
Good, Sean. How are you doing?
Living the dream, man. You got that's a nice rack, believe it or not, right behind you there.
Talking about behind you. Yeah. Easy. I'm family show.
Is it what I've seen in the past episodes? But anyway, I'm just in my loading bench here in my shop. Might be a little echoey, but
it
just happens to be where I keep some of my stuff that my wife won't let me keep in the house. So,
your girlfriends.
Yeah, exactly.
Girlfriends.
Yeah.
They're tied up on the mezzanine there. Yeah, exactly. Right on. Well, so why don't we give a little intro, Cliff? Who the hell are you? Why did we have you on the show?
You know what? I made a life of firearms. Actually, I started quite young. The usual 760 pump up pellet rifle with you pump it to 400 times before the 10 pump option came in. Kind of dating myself, but you know what? I grew up hunting and trapping and shooting competitively from a young age with the silhouettes and stuff. And growing up in Prince Albert, we had quite the northern backdrop on the farm there, and east of PA. We spent a few years and always in the bush doing something, trapping or whatever, since a pretty ripe age. But as it goes on, I got into competitive action pistol shooting, or IPSC, as it were, way back. I think before I got really black badge and such, we were having competitions out of the PA range there with a few of the guys that are still around. In fact, that was a long time ago, probably 88, something like that, 87. I built a holster out of a piece of skidoo seat and a piece of ice cream pail, and it covered the trigger guard. And that was that worked,
some caribou gut for stitching.
Something, man. The squirrel hide didn't last. No shit. So, but you know what? And got really into it. And right out of high school, I was supposed to go to law enforcement academy in Lethbridge. That was my goal, man. I was going to be a cop. Growing up in PA, I was doing it anyways. But it was one of those things, My dad called. He was a mason contractor since the 70s, and he's out in Toronto working. It's like, come on, get out here, And so I went, and 3 months turned into 3 years, and there went my law enforcement chasing that kind of a career. But that's about it. I got deeper into it down there. We were shooting, back in the early 90s and stuff, shooting 2 matches a weekend and a lot of competition, and a lot of big shoots and great guys, most of them, they know who they are, but yeah. But
always
the entourage, exactly. But even with, as I listen to you guys with your rifle shooting and stuff, you get connected with guys all over the country. And I still have those friends. We were fortunate enough. My son started shooting. They started 4 or 5 with airsoft on the hip and stuff. And then by the time they're 10 or 11, they're shooting, full house guns and black badge. A black badge at 11. I think shot his first match when he's 11 in the firing line indoors at the Winnipeg, and to progress. He shot that and progressed into being provincial champion 2 years ago, and at 16 he was. But I have a younger son. He's 13, and he is into it, but he's into dirt bikes and other stuff. And at 13, and the girls, man. Yeah. So to each his own, great kid, man. Love him to death. But you know what? It's there, and he was doing faster mag changes in Noah when they were 10 and 12. So we'll see how it goes. But you know what? And then progressed. I moved to Regina in '95 and found the club here right away. And growing up in PA, we always had the basement range at the Wildlife Federation. Then we pushed the 500 meter silhouette and then on to 1,000 there soon after. And that was a pretty cool range. And then getting associated with the Regina Wildlife Federation back here, they have a fantastic range out here. And it was good, and having friends at Depot and stuff that are armorers like Tony Palashchuk, Tony Sean, and getting in back in the day when it was okay to go in after hours and build your own race. I mean, I shouldn't have said that. I guess they're probably watching, right? but
they're watching,
and the stuff we got to do, and grateful for the heads of the armor shops for letting us do that and progress from there. At one time you shoot 30, 40, 50,000 rounds of 38 Super back then, and just shoot, time on the trigger and then getting into the instruction part of it, like the black badge training. I did that about probably 20 years ago. Became an instructor for black badge and met a lot of good people, trained a lot of people. I haven't kept count, but we get some guys, time get law enforcement guys like the ERT guys, Regina Rifles, their tag teams and stuff, just show them how to shoot fast. Like we wear bright colors and Solomon shoes,
peacock feathers.
We don't want to. Exactly. It's a non-tactical. If you wear camo, they just look at you funny and think they can give you a procedure for it, a procedural penalty. But you know what? We have a good time.
That's actually a rule. believe it or not.
It is. It's in the book. Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
no.
Exactly.
That you can't wear
So-
like tactical like
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just for being politically correct in a non-politically correct world, right? So
yeah.
so we play that. They're still trying to get into Olympics with it. I just I'm not sure that goes. We changed our target to not have a B zone on it to a polygon or whatever it is now.
They took
Just
the
to be
heads
more
off the
friendly.
targets. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was a sad day, like Rooster's side, man. It was it's really tough. You're bowing to the
Exactly.
people, I think, right? So
Yeah.
that did it matter? Did it matter? No.
No.
We stopped, keeping a low profile a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
We're advertising and like we just said, we just had the nationals, the last actual live nationals were in Quebec there, and had a good time up at the big base there. What was it called?
Valcarce.
Anyways, Valcarce. Yeah, excellent. It was really good. It was really well put on and stuff like that. But it was good. I've shot all over northern U.S. and stuff. We have people in our club. Actually, Kern, a good friend of mine, Steve Johns, past Canadian champion.
Yep.
He's shot back in the day. And
Well, so are you? Are you not? Did you not win Open Nationals
no,
one year?
never
Oh, I
Canadians.
thought you did. Okay.
No. I used to just go there to drink, and it wasn't very good for accuracy at 7:00 in the morning. So, but you know what? With all the irons in the fire with work, like we were talking before, it was tough to get the training time and stuff. And I go there, and it's fun. I've placed in the top 16 before. And won shoot-offs. Actually, top Canadian shoot-offs. We had a good one against the CZ team. Comes down from Czechoslovakia, and kind of Wolverine was sponsoring them to come and stuff. And the European champion, I had a big duel there on the plate rack or the dueling tree and some poppers, and it got down to I think about 60 rounds on 12 targets. It was back and forth on a dueling tree for a long time, and it was a lot of fun. That was out in BC. Or Alberta. I was up in the hills of Alberta. They're west. They're Buffalo.
Speak of the devil, and he shall
rounds.
appear. There's Stevie right there. Hey, Steve. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Anyway.
But anyways, yeah, it was good. It was good, and it's coming from where PA there. There's a pretty solid club. Pat Boland's still around. I belong to the indoor range up at Northern Elite Firearms. They have a beautiful indoor range in there. And I walked in there, and here's Pat. And he's the guy that started me way back on a CZ 75 with a millet sight, not milled into it, but 2 inches above the slide, because that's what the gunsmith did in PA. But stuff like that, and then just the same good guys. You'll see that in all shooting sports.
Yeah.
It's just solid guys. You'll have the wieners too. They usually weed themselves out, but and just a solid group. And I'm getting into, like, I used to shoot a lot of silhouette back in the day. When you guys talk about your PRS and all your long range King of 2 miles and stuff, we used to do that at 500 on the Rams, but I only had a pump 270, but boy, I could reload fast. So it was 100 rounds during the week. I'd make 100 rounds on the single stage and try not to dent too many cases because I was in a hurry, I was shoulders. But it was my hunting rifle and 3x9 Bushnell banner, man. And I wore the piss out of that gun, and I'd show up there on the line, and these guys with their fancy jackets and shit. And it's like, that's just me and a box ammo,
Right.
The deer rifle, and I had it figured out. I could tip those Rams over, and it was a lot of fun. But that poor 270 would see 100 rounds in a row, and I couldn't eject a factory round after I got done with it. The headspace was just probably an inch too long, and I ended up selling it to a buddy. But
I couldn't think of anything better to happen to a pump gun.
Oh man,
A pump rifle.
You know what? It started out with a free floated barrel right from Edmonton.
Yeah.
But and that progress, I really love that long range stuff, and over the years I do a lot more hunting. But then what do you have time for? Between shooting and work and hunting and filling that freezer, that was one of the biggest points why I hunted, man. Like the moose and the elk and stuff, and from archery to muzzleloader to rifle, and whatever it took to fill the freezer. But no, it was good progression, and getting into the shooting sports with the long guns now. Like I bought the usual Savage 6'5" Creed something. And, yeah, right. And just, hey, 270 Remington pump to a Creedmoor. Hey, that's
okay. Creedmoor all the way.
So, yeah. So then of course I didn't buy the heavy one because I wanted to hunt with it too. And
right.
And it's good. I only got into it last year, and through the help of Eagle Farms out of Tisdale, actually, a really good little shop, and they have a lot of stuff going on there. So, and put out just a Diamondback, whatever. It's the boxes right up there because I can't throw away boxes, but and set it up, and it was fun. We went,
freaking
whoa,
cool,
this is fun. Before it was like, just whatever, but the machine, like the stuff, the optics and the guns sure changed, and,
oh my God,
and a whole other thing, and like I said, I had an old friend of the family, Ray Landry, great guy. He was, since I grew up, he was a good friend of the family. I grew up knowing him, and 7 or 8 years old, he'd take me down to the loading room and show me how to make bullets and shoot some pistols and stuff just right from a young age, and I owe a lot to him for busting me through all that stuff, and I learned a lot on my own. But I mean, guys like that, they just he passed away a few years ago, and he ended up getting one of his Ruger Blackhawks in 357 Magnum that
nice.
Used to be under the front seat when we went fishing all the time in the north, but he's dead now. We can't get him for that. But it was one of those things, and imagine that nobody got shot.
Exactly.
That didn't deserve it, right? No, I'm kidding. But then the progression of all that to the point where I am now. 4 years ago, I stepped up to be the president of Regina Wildlife Federation, which was not on my radar. Sean was supposed to be, but he forgot to renew his membership, so they didn't account.
Right? So qualify.
Forgot. Forgot.
So, but it was, and God bless their hearts, the past presidents have done a lot of work out there. It started in 1962, and it's going strong. And
we've had Gil on the show.
Gil that's right too. Yeah, absolutely. Past president, good friend. Yeah, he was up elk hunting there a few years ago with me. But great guy. But it was to the point where those guys were getting burnt out. And wanted to spur on some other guys or youth.
Somebody's got to take the torch eventually, right?
Exactly, right. So I'm like, oh shit. And then I was elected on the spot, and it was great, for the time I've had, first 3 years or 2 years, I didn't have a lot of time, and I make the meetings and do some stuff, but to not reinvent the wheel. They have a really good base there and stuff, but it was starting to, get kind of run down and decrepit. And there's a lot of things you can't do this signs at the range, which really perturbed me, right? And it's stuff like building a new indoor range. We had a great group of guys come in from GPSA, Robin and Greg Whittle and all the guys, Robin Gomes, and like 20 years ago we thought about this. We were shooting in the Laird gym, all leaded up and dusty every Saturday. It was just a basement range, and we had the vision, right? And it's guys like those guys there, and there's a few other guys that need to be named too. But we started started raising money, started sitting in malls selling tickets, and I don't do that well with that, but I did. And back then there was no Bookface or anything, and to sell stuff and this and that. So we started raising money, and it took a real long time to convince the some of the founding members and the hunter rifle guys that we needed this indoor facility to keep our sports and the youth and everybody shooting when it's minus fuck out there, right? Like, so and the guys would stand up and kind of complain. It's like, and I'd get up and say, hey buddy, you never had rubber tires. Look at the great advantage the technology of rubber tires made. So
that's an interesting analogy.
Too much of an asshole, but I mean, you get fed up, right? These guys are, and I'm all about wildlife. I outfitted for a long time, bears and whitetail and stuff, and did all that stuff, and respect, right? Respect for the critters, and that's all part of it. It is the Regina Wildlife Federation for that matter, but most of the guys, a lot of the guys that are active in the clubs and stuff do a lot of the stuff, not to negate the other guys and stuff, but you get the 30-40 guys out at cleanup day when there's 1,400 members. It's the usual with organizations. I know, but we hired exactly. So we hired a property operations manager a few years ago, and Eric, he's doing good. And with our rentals, we rent to the RCMP and the agencies and all the pistol carrying agencies that start out there, right, or train out there and stuff. So that's really good for the club. But yeah, no, it's progressed into trying to make it better. We got a friend in common, Jeff Scobie, and he's got a plan together to expand the ranges and do a lot of new stuff. And
a stellar plan, by the way.
Awesome plan. I don't know if you've seen it, Sean, but unbelievable. And we have room to grow there, right? Like we have a great facility. I think there's 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 ranges and a good trap range, and we got up to 300.
How many acres of land too? You have a ton of land,
it's 80 acres. I think I think there's a full quarter. I can't recall, but something like that. The footprint's pretty good, and we have some houses encroaching a little bit to the west, but to the north, all the other directions is really good. We got the shoot over on the north of us and stuff, so there's some room to move there. And our good friend Bob Freeberg, Bob and I've been friends for 25 years, and he got that saddle there with the CFO position, which is fantastic. And he's trying to push through the legislation on the ranges to be left alone legally. You can't encroach on them, you can't shut them down, and God bless him for that, man. That's a lot of work. He's put a lot of work into that Saskatoon club. Being past president of the Saskatoon club and getting it moved from Sutherland to Sutherland, and the deal with the city, and the man is just he's a
wizard,
working great guy.
I always say when people from Saskatoon say, well, what club should I join? Should I drive out to Purdue or wherever? No. Yeah. Go east to almost to Clavette, and that's where the Saskatoon Wildlife Federation is, and it's a world-class facility.
It is.
It really is. Nice. It's amazing.
Yeah, the hours that Bob's put into that whole deal, man, just unbelievable, and built one that's world class, like you say. It's a phenomenal place.
I've never seen, when Maxie's did those berms, I've never seen more symmetrical berms in my entire life. It was amazing, and they were tight.
Pretty cool.
It was like making a bed. You could have smacked a quarter against it. It would have been good. They were nice, but
great facility. Yeah, great guys. We just shot another match there a couple weeks ago in the third week in October.
That's right.
And we had our EGM for Saskatchewan Practical Shooting Association in the garage.
So
and
where did you fall in the SPSA AGM? Do you have any titles there?
No, I didn't run for anything, and they got some pretty good guys in places. Our section coordinator switched out this year from north to south. Barry Moore, who's been lifelong friend almost. Shot with he's been for quite a few years, and we have Adnan Parwaz step up into the position. So Adnan, anyway. Great shooter. He's just passionate for the sport and stuff like that, and great guy. So he'll do well, and a good support team. We got quite a few guys there on the list that help everything go along, right? Like if anything, we spoke. There's politics involved, of course, but we just want to shoot and have fun, man. Bottom line, we don't want to mess the waters with a bunch of murky bullshit. So we just want to have fun. So
you want to grow, and Adnan is a businessman, and Adnan is passionate, and he knows his shit. He will get it done. Not discounting what Barry's done. Barry's been great. Exactly. Barry's a wealth of knowledge, but Adnan is going to be phenomenal. So yeah, I'm excited to come back. Let's put it
right on, man. Well,
where is the Regina Wildlife Federation?
It's east of town. There's a Skidoo dealer and a Yamaha dealer. Yeah, it's just past that same service road, and you take a left, which would be north, I guess. Yeah, that's a mile and a half down there, down that corner. Okay. So yeah, just on the edge of Stone Point Estates.
If you ever make it down here to these parts there, Rooster, I'll take you for a ride.
Well, you know what? I my mine life for 2021 is over on December 13th, so nice. I might be able to make some time to come visit.
Right, that'd be great. Yeah, absolutely, would have you down for sure. Yeah, Jeff spearheaded the 300-yard steel there. We got some, I think, 4-inch to 12 by 12 or 12 by 20 down at our
Plus
300
barricades.
berm.
Don't you got a VTAC and a tank
There's
trap?
a VTAC, a tank trap right on the line. And he's done a lot of work out there. Very, very appreciative of all the hard work that Jeff puts in, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very wealth of knowledge with the guns. My son, he's 13 now. He was out there and Jeff was walking him through they had do this and do that on the long range guns and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And the costing every time I think it's like more money. Jeez, wait till you job.
Do you remember when we first started like the ORA CQB stuff, and then Jeff would just show up and just watch. He would just sit there off in the corner. I'm like, who is this guy just creeping on us all the time? Like, get out here and come do some stuff. Well, he was just biding time, and he's just like, no, this is what I want to do. This is the club I want to be part of, and very analytical man that Jeff.
I gave him his black badge there. I can't remember what year it was, but he's been to a few matches, a few provincials. Came out to Manitoba a few times, and great guy. Shoots a lot of kites.
Man, him and Chris, Well, if I had a 20 BR, I'd be putting holes in them too, I guess. But just kidding. Anyway, so you've dropped this term a few times throughout the show, and for the listeners that don't know, what is black badge?
Oh, sorry. Well, black badge is actually the IPSC International Practical Shooting Confederation. Was started way back in the early 70s. Jeff Cooper and a bunch of his buddies down there, military fellow,
Ken Hackathorn. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I had one of his holsters actually, but it started back then and then a lot of it's 73 countries. I should have had my notes here, but I'm just winging it. All over the world. I think there's 5,000 or 6,000 shooters in Saskatchewan. I wish in Canada. We're recruiting every day. But you know what? And the black badge came about in Canada. We're one of the only ones that have it. Right, one of the only countries, if not the only country, that require training before grabbing a gun, putting a holster on, and running through as fast as you can on a stage. So we really pride ourselves on that, and not that it weeds the bad guys out, but it educates the new guys. Right, there's nothing wrong with still having a gun with a price tag on it. I've had guys that you try and get them to the range a few times and this and that if possible, but time being a factor. And sometimes they come to the range the first time and they don't even know how to load a semi-auto handgun. It's like, maybe this isn't for you. but it's, those are the guys you want to get. And some of those guys are still shooting today and just, they got the passion, and you're trying to, grasp that passion and do something with it while it's still there, right? You got to set that hook, and it's such an awesome sport. But with the black badge, it's a 16-hour training course. You have to spend 16 hours, and we go through from the basics, the safe draw, the safe gun handling, all that stuff. It touches on all the rules. There's a rule book, of course, as there is in any of these sports, unfortunately. but safety, right? With IPSC, you have an RO following you through the course at all times. There's a timer that is sound activated, so you got a beep, and the last shot stops the clock, so everybody's gauged accordingly, and it takes time and speed equally. Accuracy and speed equally. See, I should have took my notes, but and it's weighed evenly. So a fast guy that hits D's or C's, whatever, all the time isn't going to be as good as a medium guy shooting A's all the time, right?
Hey, I'm a D man myself. Thank you.
Come on over. We bet you are. We can get you up. No comment. But you know what? And with the program, it's all sanctioned, certified. You take your certification through previous ROs, and it's actual bona fide course with the National Range Officers Institute. So it's a real deal. And if you're going through a stage too, and if you break 90 or move with your finger in the trigger guard or have an accidental discharge, you're going home. It doesn't matter if you flew to South Africa or wherever for the shoot. If you break those major rules, you're going home. It's not just a stage DQ as some sports do it, but for obvious reasons, we're trucking as fast as we can go and shooting, controlling that firearm at speeds of like flat out. So there's a lot of degree of difficulty in these stages, but as they progress and get better at it. You know, you can do a lot faster and a lot better. Like Sean, when he first started. Do you want to get into that, Sean?
Go ahead. I was dog shit when I first started.
It was awesome, you know, from what I can find on the high 8 tapes there. But it was actually I can't remember what year that was, Sean. That was quite a few years ago.
2012 or 2013.
Yeah, 10 years ago, man. Yeah.
And it was unreal. I had such a bitch of a time at Black Badge. And like when people's like, Kurt, you and I were having a discussion the other night. It's like, well, should I just show up? No, do not just show up with your gun, because yes, they will teach you, but you're gonna have a bad time. Okay,
right.
You know.
That's the thing. I don't know where to start. I'm definitely interested, but I really have very little, if any, sniff of pistol shooting sports. Really,
the best kind, fresh. You just come down, shoot a few plate racks, you know, kick a few doors, hit a few swingers. Okay. But you know what? That's what it takes, right? Come down one-on-one or whatever, just shoot. And, you know, it once you're smacking that steel, you know what it's like at long range. But once you smack 6 steel plates in a row in under 4 seconds or whatever and get to that point. But again, it's not for everybody, but it's sure a fun sport, you know. And back to, you know, the Black Badge gets you all the way through what to expect on a match, what to bring, you know, to what draw, how to draw, you know, how to change mags proficiently, you know. We go all through
safely.
That.
Not just proficiently, but safely.
That's it, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to get into what Mike brought up for what I guess I'm calling Mike out a little bit. And I want you to explain, Cliff, what he's probably talking about here. Why do you think he's
I'll read this to the listeners too. Mike Heineck on the Facebook says, I have mixed feelings on Black Badge. Yes, I really like the training aspect of it, but it is a huge barrier to entry. So can you kind of touch on and expand on that a little bit, Cliff? And kind of give him a retort, if you will.
Everybody's been have new shooter nights and stuff at their gun clubs, right? And you get the guys with the price tag still on their pistol. They just got their restricted, and they don't know how to use it. Sometimes it's
or they watch Arnold Schwarzenegger movies and feel
80% of the guys bring a 92F like lethal weapon, a Dirty Harry 44, or you know, like that's where they get their kick from or whatever. And then sometimes that turns into a competitive fella. Absolutely, you got to get the input somehow. But as far as a Black Badge, piece of piss, man. Like we run them through in 2 days. Sometimes I do 4-hour sessions after work or whatever. 6 o'clock at my shop, we run through with airsoft, and we get it through. The test exam is open book. You just have to get the right answer and note the rule. And I think there's 50 questions.
And show you're not a Yahoo. Like, just don't be a fucking idiot.
That's it, man. If you want to go with your buddies out to somebody's wherever and shoot up the whole countryside, go ahead. You're not doing that with us, because it's one guy on the line at a time, and it's RO on the right on them, and it's safe for that reason. We have very, very good record on safety in this organization. And can you imagine, like, running with guns, man, but safely, and the emphasis, you know,
it's what separates us from the lower hospitals.
It is, and if he has a problem with Black Badge, so be it. I don't understand. Then just, I don't know, shoot paper. I
guess more the argument has been made in the past that Black Badge has been used as a tool by the local clubs to, you know, say, you know, this is your in, this is your, you know, this is an old boys club, and no, we're not going to give you Black Badge because of this made up reason, so you can't come, or whatever the fuck it is. Right?
No, I've never turned down anybody for any made up reasons at all. You know,
not
even
in
like
Saskatchewan.
The guys. No, and if the guys that come, like one fella, you know, like I said, never knew how to rack around it. And it's like, okay, buddy, well, catch the next course, come out with me for a few times, and we'll get you up to par. And we don't want to embarrass you on the line. We don't want to, you know, and with all the, you know, I don't know how many Black Badge students I've had over the years. I haven't kept track, but you get them from beginner to mildly experienced, and you got to do that to get to get it out there. And some of those mildly experienced or no experienced guys turn out to be in the top 16. You know, in a few years or even quicker. So,
you think maybe Mike's had like an instructor that wasn't like you? You know what I mean, though? Like kind of a bad experience there, or what?
I can relate. I took my black badge in Ontario. Nothing against Ontario, but I don't think I'm allowed back there for one thing. But
that's not IPSC related. That's
that's another episode.
We'll leave it at there.
I think my wife's watching, but anyway, so my instructor was they were thorough, good, and it's serious stuff. It's not just taking a course in archery, or nothing against archery. I do a lot of archery shooting, but this is serious. You're actually moving as fast as you can through a course of fire with a load of fire.
Yeah.
And there's people behind you, not, right behind you, the spectators and the shooters are ready to shoot. And if something goes south, it goes south quickly and real bad. So you got to be proficient, and you'll get the guys
on
that
a dime,
come in.
It'll turn like that.
Yep. And you're running footing, you're running over plywood props, you're running, and you got to know. And if you wipe
doors,
out,
shooting out of a car in some stages, or whatever
exactly,
the stage calls for.
It just sounds like a Saturday night in PA.
Actually, my sister Laura, she's a police officer in Prince Albert for the last 15 years. So yeah, it hasn't changed, man. If anything, it's getting a little worse. But
Cliff, Steve Johns just chimed in here. He says nobody who ever took a black badge course has ever regretted it.
Exactly,
and
Steve.
I can say that. Like when me and Wes showed up to black badge, and we're like, oh, we know what's going on. Even we learned some things. Like we're bullheaded fat guys, right? So it just made sense.
You did well, and then you got kind of busy with other things, and Wes turned into top shooter, man. Mm-hmm. He still hasn't shot for a little bit, but hopefully he comes back. Good fella.
Yeah, exactly. All right, on.
Yeah. So what do you tell? Sorry, Sean.
Go ahead.
What do you tell a guy like me that wants to go get my black badge? Like I have a pistol. I don't have beyond that. I have some ammo. Nothing else.
Yep. Just PM me after. I got a line on a bunch of stuff. We do a lot of new setups for guys. So there's a lot of guys out there, vendors and that we deal with directly for the right stuff. You can go to Cabela's and. Nothing wrong with Cabela's, they support the shooting sports and stuff like that, but it's Uncle Mike's and stuff, the entry level stuff. And for the same price or maybe a little more, you can buy the stuff that's going to last you years. And literally I have maybe even hanging here, holster from 89 that I still drag out when I do my demos and stuff with my airsoft guns and stuff. But even Ken Hackathorn, you just mentioned one of the originators. I got a leather holster that runs my 45 on there.
And what are those old race holsters that dominated?
Safariland
the old leather open ones that
Ernie Hill.
Ernie Hill, that's what it is. Those things. Oh.
And Steve will remember those. Those were.
In fact, I remember when I first became vice president of RAPS, the Regina Association of Practical Shooters. I found that Jamie Callan found that photo of when what's his name, Rob Latham came up and did that course in '87, and there was like all the old timers were there. But looking 30 years younger, and it was just a sight. They all had those Ernie Hills with their single stack 1911s. And
Steve was in that picture.
Steve was. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I think it was 12 or something.
Yeah. Anyway, that was unreal. But
that's good. But it's like any sport, right? You get the basis in the start, and they build on it. Like look at the long range guns, from a pump 270 with 3x9 to a Venom Ruger long range 22. I just set up with a 34 millimeter tube. It's like, oh my god, it looks like a video game in there. So, but that's the way the sports are turning, right? And a lot of optics, like we got production optics for a lot of guys, a lot of old guys, a lot of eyes and stuff. So you put a red dot on the slide of a production gun, and that's its whole entire own classification. Yeah, so that's lots of fun. I shoot a little bit of that, mostly shoot open class. We started a long time ago with a single chamber 45 compensated 1911 with a big Tasco PDP 3 or whatever, the size of a Campbell's soup can on it, and we were cool kids. So but to the 38 supers, to the high caps, to the back in the day when we could shoot 27 round mags and stuff like that. Now it's 10, everybody knows. So you're doing a lot of mag changes. And we used to go to Plentywood all the time, and boy, we'd borrow some high cap mags. We still change them after 10 rounds, right? Because it would be habit, but
just have it.
Yeah, no, but like to speak to what you need, Rooster. Yeah, just give me a PM or
sure.
Sean will give you my phone number and give me a call, and I get all kinds of rigs and stuff through, and might even have something. But what are you shooting, a M&P or something? Or,
yeah,
I can't remember.
Yep.
Okay,
first
perfect.
gen M&P9.
Awesome.
Yeah,
great gun. Yeah, great gun. Jerry was shooting them lots of production. The Mikulek there. He shot a lot for Smith & Wesson there and stuff.
Right.
Great gun.
Hey, I think we know that guy, Jerry.
I think we
seen him intro in there. Yeah. Last time I seen him at SHOT Show, we chatted for about 20 minutes. Just
he's a good guy.
Great guy. Yeah. That's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
him and Chris are just like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right?
Here, Jeremy Murray on the Facebooks here, a friend of the show, says I've seen some
Jeremy.
sketchy USPSA shenanigans that could have been stomped out by black badge courses. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, Jeremy, how's it going, man? Good.
Yeah,
awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's you know what, the black badge. Yeah, it's a great course, and a lot of clubs like pistol clubs and stuff around Saskatchewan, and they you want to shoot a holster at their indoor ranges sometimes and stuff. That black badge goes a long way. There's a reason for it. You can say, oh look, we got our black badge, let us use our holsters. I think with Scana there, I think Big Matt there got it pushed through that they could use holsters. I think he was one of the ones that were started that at the Scana. But that's good.
Scana Pistol Club, another club in Regina, Kurt.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yep.
So, I put 2 and 1 together.
I talk fast, you gotta listen fast.
Yeah.
No, this is great. No, we're keeping up. So
awesome.
What lies ahead for IPSC in Saskatchewan? You already talked about Adnan taking over as section coordinator.
Yeah, you got voted in. You know what? We're seeing a big raise in the membership. We got a lot of guys interested. I got guys in Yorkton, down in East End even. There was a group there, as mule deer hunting down there a few years ago, and they wanted to get back into it. We used to have a lot of shoots down at Garden Head. We used to have just steel shoots or stake shoots down the Swift Current used to have a club. Tompkins, we used to shoot in the basement of the Tompkins rec hall there with rubber tires on the walls, and the big 45 bullets would be bouncing back at your feet, but you still had fun. Yeah. but there's so much, but people don't know about it. I'm putting on at least 1, maybe 2 black badge courses in PA, that Northern Elite, this winter. Nice indoor range, so that's nice and close, Kurt. I know there's an active black badge course like Barry Moore and Bruce Lalonde, our instructors up in Saskatoon. Good bunch of guys, and there's guys all over. But you know what? It's really neat. It's like any sport. It's once you get into it, it hooks you pretty hard.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Yeah. So,
So Mike Heineck commented again. He says, my comment was more related to bringing new people to the sport. I do a lot of work with bringing in new shooters, and yet to get anyone to even want to try IPSC. I also have to do my black badge still. So I was just more so, Mike, trying to figure out why, what the barrier was that you described before. So that's all.
It's sometimes hard to get in. Down here we have one. I was the only instructor for a while. We had a fella, Rick Peach, was spurring up the black badge program for a long time. Great instructor. He and then I tutored under him, and then I know Ron Balzer too. He had his black badge instructors for a long time, but guys get busy, But I like to schedule them. I was trying to accommodate the guys. Like I'd pretty much gone up north every weekend, so I try to get them, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 5:00 at my shop or something to get that stuff done, and then onto the range to do the practical exam. Whatever do to accommodate the guys. And then COVID hit. We had a group of a dozen, I think we had that we had to put on hold, and then try and rope them back in and get them aligned again for another course. Pretty tough sometimes. So it's do what we can to promote, because that's who our
Right.
youth is. Like with any shooting sport, we get a pretty great biathlon program out at the Regina Wildlife Federation that really brings those youth to the table, and some of those, trickle on to other shooting sports, and they, that's who builds our future,
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and in today's, like, even we promote the rental of our indoor range. So every time I'm out and about, or some of my vendors or whatever, I always, we have nights to rent the range, the indoor range. Come out, we supply the guns and ammo, and for a nominal fee, we can
Sure.
get you out shooting. We have the one hair salon here has been chomping to go here with all the like ladies at the chairs that want to come out and try shooting. They've never done it before.
Excellent.
You
so
also
it's good.
have Warren Steinley and Andrew Scheer come out and do events
quite a
out
bit.
there, fundraising and also fun. They're both
Yep.
members out there, right? So
Yep, absolutely. Quite a lot, actually. Yeah, he come out. I was shooting clays with Andrew on election night till about 7:00, and he goes, "What else did I do?" He brought his sister out. We were busting clays, and then we went indoors to shoot some carbine and pistol carbine and some pistols after. And yeah, it was great. And he's always has a couple functions during the year for his guys, and super guy, super down to earth, but loves to shoot. And same with Warren. He's been out a few times, and we had the head guys from Viterra rent the range for an afternoon, and that was a hoot. We had Viterra's some of their owners, people from Europe, came in, and they've never handled guns before. A Polish fella and a big guy from Denmark, man. He was a foot taller than me. I don't know if you've seen that picture, Sean.
I did, yeah.
He was a giant and never shot before. And by the end of the trap, we shot 2 rounds, and they were smashing clays and having a good time. And he went to shoot one of the head Viterra guys here, just bought a new bow this year, and he went to pull back the bow and he ripped it right apart. It was a brand new Elite or something, pulled the string right off it, man. And just this guy was a super giant. But yeah, no, just promotion, promotion through youth clubs. Like I've been pushing to try and get an actual youth club started with the indoor facility. You bows, rifles, pistols, whatever you got. There's such a large population out of Belgoni, Pilot Butte, White City, and even from town that the kids don't get exposed to it. And when they do, it's great. Like I was over at Seeing Aaron the other day at Cash Tactical. A mom came in with her son, and he wanted an airsoft. He's like 12 or something, and this and that. I told him, here's my number. Bring him out. We'll shoot a couple single shot 22s and maybe a little Wrangler or single 6, and just get him into that. Just expose it to him, and that's where we got to do it. We all know that's what we have to do to win these anti-gun wars, and all that stuff starts with the seed
youth.
planted. That Maple Seed project is really good. You guys running that? We'll have to get one lined up for out at our range there, but I mean, anything we can do to get it to do well in the meeting, right? So, but it takes a lot of work, though. A lot of guys on the board and stuff. It's we don't have time and this and that, but they don't think of the big picture. We leave these leave this alone and let our youth grow up without having fun with guns, and then it's one generation that would not be.
And that's it. Fun with guns.
Need a T-shirt like
that's
that. Yep, that's all it is. And you've had quite a few great guests on speaking the same.
Thanks,
right?
man.
With the promotion and stuff that has to be done. Right, we have to go forward and get those youth involved. Like the way we grew up is a little different than what the kids are growing up today.
Yep.
Right, like either on the farm with a 22, man. That was it. If I was on a 79 Enticer 300 with a trapping sled, I left at 6 o'clock after I got off the bus. Put on, it's like 35 below, and mom was like, if you're not back by 10, we'll come looking for you. It was
maybe.
That old ET, oh man, and I still got it actually. It's at the farm. It's under wraps right now, but we did that, and that's where we grew up, and it was but a little different, I get it. And then whenever people see guns doing things, it's always bad on the news, and it just gets blown up like that. But,
and that's one of the reasons I started this show as well, not to just create an echo chamber, but to highlight a lot of what I love and what I love to see in the industry. And so,
right.
And you've been breathing down my neck for 6 months. When am I going to come on? I could talk with the best of them, Sean. Jesus.
No, he's been bugging me for 2 years now.
And
but
the truth
good
comes
time.
out.
No, you guys do a good show. I've
Thanks,
clicked
man.
on a lot of the past ones, and and having fun, right? Like that's what it's about. It, you know, we're not in our bomb shelters covered in camel tack gear, creating the next downfall.
Not all of us,
you know.
Not yet.
Hey man, well, you have to have a bomb shelter. Now let's get serious. Everybody should have one, but just don't broadcast from it because
that's right.
That's right. That's right.
But no, like with I can't see any comments or anything. Where I'm looking at my screen right now, but I know with Steve there, we're totally getting a lot of people out with I've never shot before. We have one lady, her husband bought her shotgun last Christmas, I think it was, and she'd never shot before or nothing, and I think she's been out to the trap range more than anybody in the last year because Steve brings her out, and we sometimes get out there and shoot, right, and it's getting into that whole other realm where she talks to her female friends at the gym, right? And then what did you do today? You know, and that's where it gets promoted, and anything we can do, guys.
And it has to stick.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right on. Well, before we shut her down, do you have any shout outs?
You know what? Wolverine Supplies in Vernon, Manitoba sponsored my sons and I for the last over 5 years or so, and they've been really terrific. I know it's quite a popular store. I'll leave it at that. To a lot of long range shooters and a lot of law enforcement personnel that use them. We have our own guys in Saskatchewan. They're stepping to the table and sponsoring the matches and stuff like that now too. You know, there's people I approach that are provincials. You know, like Northern Elite Firearms. We had Eagle Firearms from Tisdale. Never even seen an IPSC gun or anything, but they got behind us and and gave us some donations for our provincial match, and that's fantastic. You know, I like to keep it local, but I know Wolverine's been fantastic to the shooting sports. We've been out for the Wolverine Days. I don't know if you guys ever been, but it's a hoot. Yeah, it's a hoot. See John there on shooting the fast fire guns and stuff, and just smiling. You know, he grabs a Reese gun and throws it through mags through it, and just the pure enjoyment of it. Not because for bad reasons, but for good. And hopefully with COVID, lessening up and stuff like that, we get to do it again this year. It's a lot of fun. I take my two boys out and we load mags like a son of a gun. Noah, my son there, he instructs with a pistol there too, so he's out there running the line. But it's a really good time, and the promotion that they do and the support, like even at the hunting shows, the Yorkton show, they put a table up there. They do a lot of good in this province. So being right across the border, if they ever go into their shop, they got lots to look at. Yeah, for sure. But
it's always a trip. Whenever I drive down the number one going east, I always got to turn off at Vernon and north.
Follow the river. Yeah,
that's right. So
a great bunch of guys. You know, they just got back from their usual pilgrimage to Ottawa. And Matt, I'm not sure if he's watching tonight, but super guys. Tyson and Ryan, we roomed with them out in Quebec, and boy, that's a lot of stories. That's for another episode. But
don't you always make stories when you're in Quebec?
They also employed somebody who had the greatest name of all time there. And he's not there anymore, but Guy Pounder.
Oh yes, super guy, absolutely great, fantastic gentleman.
Yeah, arguably the greatest name in all of existence. I was working in ag. Son of a bitch.
Where his heart is, man. I picked him up to take him to Winnipeg for the provincials this year, and found his farm and stuff. And great fella, very knowledgeable about firearms also. So what better combination you got, Sean? Ag and firearms, right?
That's right, ag and firearms. Take a black badge will take your shooting course to higher level. Yeah,
there you go. Well, it's and Tyson LeBreau there. I was ROing him this year in Manitoba Provincials, and he took a spill, fell on his shoulder, and finished the stage. Well, here he broke his collarbone when he took a spill. The next stage, he was shooting the next stage with a broken collarbone, and the firing pin retaining plate at the back of the slide let go, and the firing pin hit him right in the forehead. So, and he's still. I hope he's listening or will listen.
If that's not a sign to give up for the day,
man, you're done. Never give up. I think he even won or took second. I can't remember what he did, but that's power.
Cliff, give me your gun. I got to finish the stage.
I did give him some parts. I did give him some parts, but that doesn't usually happen to a good CZ firearm. Another Amos plug there. So right on, guys. Well, this has been great. That's good.
Well, guys, I also want to give a quick shout out to Odell Engineering, Phil Odell and his team there, Tony, Nikki, everybody there. They are your premium importer and distributor of some of Canada's top brands of firearms, including Bergara, Rock Island Armory, Mission First Tactical, Hyperfire, and the Made for Canada Canuck Firearms. Find their products in a dealer carrying their products at OdellEngineeringLTD.com, on Facebook at Odell Engineering Ltd, or walk to your local gun store and tell them Phil sent you. So.
Right on. And one last one. ScoutVid is an interactive platform for youth of all ages to showcase their talent, from profiles to highlight reels. We put you front and center in the hockey world, whether you're just getting into hockey or looking to make an impression on a junior club. ScoutVid gives you the tools to get noticed. Welcome to the show.
If you're putting together a highlight vid for special sponsors to get sent to IPSC Worlds in France or whatever, they'll do it for you.
There you go. Check out ScoutVid on Facebook, Instagram, and their website at scoutvid.com.
You bet.
Right on.
And
Awesome,
also,
guys.
We're also going to give another shout out to our sponsors. Without you, we wouldn't have a show in the first place. So
Amen.
Continuing on, Shane and Steve, DM Precision, Miles Carey Cappy, call sign 66. Duncan and Rob, Bolt Action Coffee, Doug and Niza from March Scopes Canada, ScoutVid, the guys there, Kurt, I don't know their names,
Warren.
but Warren
and his partner, I can't remember.
Warren
his
and
name,
ScoutVid, yeah.
You betcha.
We can't thank you guys enough. So
You bet.
right on. Sorry for the delay this week, guys, and hopefully we can be on time next week. And Cliffy, appreciate you coming on.
The bush and...
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, we got Rooster. Give me a buzz, Sean. Give my number.
I will. So
yeah,
we'll get you hooked up and come down and try her out, man. You'll get it.
Right.
Awesome.
I might pick your brain for some of that long range stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm
an open book.
270. The hash marks on that old banner.
A picture book.
Yeah. Coloring book.
Coloring book. Yeah.
That'll do.
Right on. Cliff, don't go anywhere. Hold on. We got to play our outro.
You betcha.
We'll see you all next week. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Right on, guys.